They say the streets remember their heroes, but sometimes they forget what those heroes fought for. South Los Angeles. Late at night, the air vibrates with heavy bass. Street races are in full swing. But something feels different tonight. There's no sense of freedom, no brotherhood. Everything is colder, harsher. New rulers run the show. The crowd is gathered along a makeshift starting line. People shout, argue, place bets, but the real silence is inside. Something's wrong. You can feel it in the glances and the tension. Off to the side, blending into the crowd, stands a man in a dark hoodie. His face is hidden, but he sees everything. His steps are confident, yet cautious. He didn't come back as a hero. He came as a shadow of the past. This is Dominic Toretto. No one knows he's here. He wants to see the truth with his own eyes. To confirm it, or be disappointed. The neighborhood where anyone once had a chance to prove themselves has become a battlefield of humiliation and racial division. He feels it in his bones, and he knows the night is only beginning. He walks slowly as if breathing in the familiar pain of the pavement, every building, every turn, a memory but distorted, faded by time. This neighborhood once followed different rules. Respect couldn't be bought. It had to be earned. Now, it's the opposite. The crowd is full of unfamiliar faces, new people, new eyes, new smells. Before, the streets could tell instantly if you were one of them or not. Now no one cares, unless you stand in the way of power. And power isn't the police. It's those with the mic on stage, those who run the starting lines, who decide who's worthy of racing and who belongs in the shadows. Vin Diesel moves closer to the center of the crowd. He says nothing, scans the scene, listens, and finally he sees what he came for. At the starting line, a corrupt system. Street racing, once a symbol of freedom, has become a weapon of humiliation. He hears pieces of conversation. "You're not racing, got it? We don't put people like you at the line." Blacks belong in the crowd, not behind the wheel. The words cut deep. He feels it boiling inside him. But still, he remains silent, waiting. Because sometimes to strike, you need to know exactly where the enemy's heart beats. Before we continue, let's take a short pause. Let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Have you ever gone through something similar in your life? What do you feel when you hear stories like this? And if these kinds of stories speak to you, subscribe. It helps us keep telling real stories. Now we continue. He doesn't interfere, not yet, but there's no calm left inside. Every humiliating word spoken out loud feels like sandpaper on his nerves. He's seen injustice before, but this is personal. This is his neighborhood, his streets, his people. The guy at the line, young, maybe 20, eyes steady, hands on the wheel. He's black, and he's ready to race. But 3 organizers stand in front of him like a wall. One of them leans in and almost whispers, "This isn't for you. Walk away before it gets worse." The guy doesn't move, doesn't look at them, just straight ahead. "I came to race," he says calmly. "No," says another. "You came to remind us your color doesn't belong here." The crowd stays silent. Some look away, some film on their phones, but no one steps in. They're used to it. They're afraid. Then Dominic takes one step forward, just one, but it's enough. Heads turn. Those who know him freeze. Those who don't sense something's shifted. He locks eyes with the one who spoke last. "Say it again," he says quietly. And in that moment, the street goes silent. A new race begins, a race for respect. Say it again. Dominic's voice is calm, but there's a cold edge to it. The guy who had been yelling suddenly goes quiet. His lips twitch like he's trying to place who this man is. Another organizer steps forward, full of false bravado. "Who the hell are you to step in? We run this place. You hear me?" "That's what you think," Dominic replies. His tone is still controlled, but there's steel behind it. "But you're not the streets, and you're not the race." The guy takes another step, trying to intimidate. "Walk away now before something breaks." Dominic stares into his eyes, slowly pulls back his hood. The crowd freezes. Silence crashes down. Someone whispers, "That's Toretto." Now even those who didn't know. "I didn't come to play," Dominic says. "I came to remind you who we are." "You don't call the shots here," yells a third organizer. "I don't call the shots," Dominic repeats. "The street does." He turns to the young man at the line. "You ready?" "Always," the kid says, eyes steady. Engines begin to growl. Old school is back. Engines roar like wild animals. The asphalt shakes beneath them. The crowd, like a single breathing beast, holds its breath, hungry for action, unaware that what's at stake is bigger than any win. Tonight the street chooses its voice, or its silence. Dominic walks to the starting line himself, stands next to the young man, looks him in the eye. "What's your name?" "Jaden," he answers. "Remember it. Tonight you're not just racing, you're standing for everyone they've pushed aside. You're not alone." Dominic raises his hand, his palm, a signal of revolt. The three organizers stare with hate, but they don't move. They feel it. The moment has slipped away. "On three," Dom says. "1, 2, 3. Engines scream, tires bite the road. The race begins. But no one knows. At the finish line, there won't just be a winner. There'll be truth. Or a fall. The cars shoot off the line like bullets. Jaden holds strong. Doesn't flinch even when he's getting boxed in from both sides. The first seconds feel like war. Every move is either a step toward victory or a shortcut to destruction. Dominic watches. Something's wrong. He feels it. Too coordinated. The two racers flanking Jaden aren't just driving, they're closing in on him. And then, bam! One slams into Jaden's side. His car jolts, nearly spinning off the road. The crowd erupts in shouts. Dominic bolts forward, running along the strip. "This isn't a race," he mutters. "It's a trap." But Jaden doesn't fold. He steadies the wheel like he knows it's not just about him anymore. It's about the people behind him, the ones pushed out, the ones silenced. They're riding with him now. The next hit comes head on. Another car swerves to cut him off, send him flying. But Jaden reacts fast. He slides, regains grip, and bursts forward. From the crowd, Dominic shouts, "Don't back off! They fear you because you've already won." Jaden floors it. He rips through the street. He's not just a rookie anymore. He's the voice of the streets. The race rages on, every inch a battlefield. Jaden is at the edge. His car shakes, tires screaming, and the enemies are still closing in. One of them veers to strike again. Then, a flash of headlights. A black Charger explodes out of a side alley like it came straight from the past. It smashes into the attacker's car, knocking it clean off the road. Metal flies. Sparks shower, tires screech. The attacker crashes out. Dominic knows that car. He knows it like he knows his heartbeat. Behind the wheel, Leon. Took you long enough, brother, Dom mutters. Leon over the radio. Saw the live stream. These punks shame the streets. I'm here. Now it's a fair fight. Jaden versus the final leader. Dominic clenches his fist. Go, kid. It's your road now. The crowd feels it. They start chanting Jaden's name. The street has awakened. The street remembers who it is. Only one opponent left. The leader. His name's Rick. Fast, cunning, and most of all, ruthless. He doesn't race to win, he races to destroy. Jaden is nearly on him. One last turn. Rick slams the brakes. Jaden nearly rear-ends him. A setup. You want to take my spot? Rick snarls into the radio. Then learn how to fall, then it gets worse. Rick drops a strip of metal spikes on the track. No real racer would do this. Jaden sees one spike catch his tire. The rubber hisses. He's losing grip. Dominic shouts in the radio, pull out! This isn't fair! We'll take him down another way. But Jaden stays in. He grips the wheel, closes his eyes for a second. He hears the voices of the street, Dominic's words, the crowd. He has a choice. Play dirty or rise above. And he chooses. He takes a risk, cuts a corner tight, slides into a dangerous drift, and overtakes Rick. No contact, no tricks, clean. The crowd explodes. Dominic raises his fist. Jaden didn't just win the race. He showed the streets that respect beats fear. Engines cut out. The track is clouded in dust, echoing engines and wild voices. Jaden steps out of the car. His movements are heavy but steady. He can feel the tension crackling in the air. The crowd moves in. Some are shouting, others stare in stunned silence. They've never seen someone win without playing dirty, without violence, and still stand on top. Dominic walks up. Now you know what it means to lead. It's not about speed, it's about choice. Then Rick appears. Bruised, furious, but still full of pride. His crew circles him, trying to keep his image intact. But the crowd backs away from him. No one meets his gaze. Think you've won? He growls at Jaden. No, Jaden replies calm. I've just begun. Rick steps forward, but people block his path. Dominic steps beside Jaden. These streets don't know you anymore, Rick. They've chosen. Slowly, steadily, the crowd starts chanting, Jaden! Jaden! This wasn't just a race, it was a turning point. As the crowd chants Jaden's name and Dominic claps him on the back with pride, a silent camera continues to record from a rooftop corner. Unofficial, hidden, almost invisible. Its red light blinks softly in the dark. Across the city, in a quiet, windowless room filled with shadows and luxury, a man watches the footage. His face is obscured, but his eyes burn with cold calculation. He's seen it all. The race, the win, and most importantly, the crowd no longer ruled by fear. He's upsetting the balance, the man says. Another figure steps forward. Rick was weak, we knew that, but no one expected someone clean. The shadowed man turns to a map pinned on the wall. The city's streets marked and divided into zones. He picks up a marker and places a thick black dot where Jaden won. Let him play the hero, for now. His voice is flat, emotionless. But the streets don't like change, especially those who run them from the dark. He gives one last glance to the screen. Jaden raising his hand in victory, the crowd chanting. Find his weakness and hit him where it hurts. The next day seemed normal. The city buzzed with engines and neon lights. Jaden walked through his old neighborhood, the streets he knew better than anyone. But something felt off. People watched him differently, not with pride, with worry, as if they knew something he didn't. When he reached his garage, he stopped cold. The doors were ajar. He never left them like that. Inside, chaos. Tools scattered. Cabinets torn open, the hood of his car slashed open, and on the wall sprayed in red paint. Heroes don't survive. He stepped back, heart pounding. At that moment, a black car rolled up silently next to him. The window lowered. A man in sunglasses spoke. "We warned you. You crossed the line." Then the car vanished. No plates, no trace, only the weight of a threat. Jaden stood alone, staring at the street. He'd won over the crowd. But now, something else was watching. Something far worse. "I knew they'd come for you," Dominic said as he stepped into the wrecked garage. His voice was calm, but there was steel behind it.
"Who are they?" Jaden asked, holding a wrench like a weapon. "The ones who control the streets from below. They don't race. They set the rules, and they crush anyone who breaks them." Dominic looked around. "I thought I left this life behind, but maybe we weren't meant for peace." He handed Jaden a metal cross, old, scratched, worn. "This isn't just jewelry, it's memory of everyone who stood with us, and each one of them will stand again if you ask. You think I can handle this?" "Not alone, but you're not alone anymore." Dominic pulled out his phone and dialed. Time to call family. Within hours, the garage was no longer empty. Familiar faces arrived. Former racers, engineers, street soldiers. Each one looked at Jaden like a leader, and at Dominic like the pulse of something bigger. "We don't hide, and we don't bow," Dominic said. "If they want war, they'll get one. But it'll be on our terms." And somewhere, in the shadows, a red light blinked again. They were being watched. But now, the hunt was mutual. Night, an abandoned industrial zone outside the city, rusted warehouses, silence. The only sound, the low growl of engines. Jaden and Dominic's team rolls in slow and tight. They knew it was a trap. But this was about showing strength, showing they were done hiding. From the shadows, a convoy of black cars arrives. The lead door opens. A man steps out, suit, cold smirk. His name is Vega, one of the hidden rulers. Trying to break the system? He sneers at Jaden. Too young, too clean. Dominic steps forward, still hiding behind fear. "Vega, still ruining lives from the shadows?" Vega chuckles. "And you're still alive? I thought your code died with the streets." Tension thickens. Hands near weapons, muscles tight. "We're not here for war," Jaden says. "We came to show you something. You can't stop what's coming." "No," Vega replies. "The streets are coming back under control." He snaps his fingers, and chaos erupts. Gunfire, screeching tires, blinding lights. Jaden ducks a bullet. Dominic slams a man into the wall. Leo, Dominic's old tech guy, overrides Vega's drone feed, turns their own eyes against them. It's not a fight, it's a message. And when Vega realizes he's not just losing control, but loyalty, he retreats. "This is just the beginning," he growls. "The streets will never be yours." He vanishes into the night. Jaden stands amidst the wreckage. People gather, not as followers, but as believers. He's no longer just a racer. He's the spark that started a fire. A week passed. The city was still buzzing from what went down that night. The news hinted at a mysterious shootout. Videos circulated online, but only those who were there knew the full story. Vega was gone, his network dismantled. Dominic sat on the hood of his car, watching the sunset. Jaden walked up, holding an envelope. "This is everything," he said. "Vega's financial ties, the bribes, the blackmail. The cops can't ignore it now." Dominic nodded. "You realize everything changes from here?" "I do, but now we've got people. We're not just racers, we are the streets." The next day, a crowd gathered downtown. Not for protest, but to reclaim their voice. Jaden stepped onto the platform. Behind him, Dominic, and the whole crew. "They tried to break us," Jaden said. "Told us we didn't matter, that we didn't deserve freedom." He paused. "But the truth is, the streets belong to us. Not the ones in shadows, but the ones who live, breathe, fight." Applause erupted. People embraced. Some cried. Others stood in powerful silence. And in that moment, it was clear. Evil lost. They didn't destroy the system completely, but they destroyed its grip of fear. That was the real victory. Dominic turned to Jaden. Told you, you're not alone. 2 months later, the city was healing, slowly. Still scarred, still tired. But something was different. Trust had returned. People were looking each other in the eye again. Speaking the truth. Not whispering in fear, but talking with hope. Jaden stood once more at the track where it all began. The pavement was new, but the air felt the same. Dominic walked up beside him. Things are changing, he said. Yeah, Jaden replied. But the best part? We didn't become like them. Dominic smiled. That's the real win. In the distance, young racers took laps. One looked at Jaden with admiration, not fear, respect. You staying? Dominic asked. No, I'm moving on. There are other streets still silent, but I'll be back. They shook hands. No big words, no dramatic farewells. Because the streets remember the ones who didn't break. The ones who fought and stayed human. And though not all evil was gone, good finally had a voice. And it was loud.